Hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast. I'm your host, Robin Hackney, and I'm so happy that you're here. This podcast is a place for conversations about balancing a healthy lifestyle and being happy. More specifically, happy hour. Together, we'll explore all things wellness and wine. I hope you learn a little, laugh a lot, and along the way, know you're not alone on this balanced wellness journey. Ready to jump in? Pour something in your glass that makes you happy because it's time for Spandex and Wine. Hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast. I'm your host, Robin Hackney, and today's episode is sponsored by Hue and Grace, promoting hormone health with elevated products that improve your skin, health, and home. Hue and Grace is a leader in hormone health movement. Their mission is to empower you to transform your life through products, content, and community. I personally love their products, and I love it even more that I am eliminating endocrine disruptors from what I put in, on, and around my body. Check it out at hueandgrace.com/spandexandwine and use the code HELLO10 for 10% off your first order. Now on to the episode. As I reach out to more and more guests, names from Traveling Vineyard pop up everywhere. I feel blessed that I was able to have that experience and learn more than I even realized, and I still have friends all over the nation because of it. When they shut down, it was devastating to so many, and the recovery is still happening, but there was also some good that came of it. I've loved seeing and hearing where everyone went and what they're doing now, a true testament to perseverance and determination. A wonderful group of people was a part of Traveling Vineyard. My friend Rebecca Stevenson, also a former wine guide, is the guest for today's episode, and I think you'll enjoy our conversation about CBD. Here's Rebecca. Well, hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast, Rebecca. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
I'm excited too. I want to know all about everything that you do. It's just so fascinating. So I'm going to let you just take off. Tell us your story and what you have going on.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm an advocate with Green Compass, which is an organic, 100% organic CBD company based out of North Carolina. So I've been with them. Well, I've been using their products now for over a year, and I didn't really know exactly what I was looking for. I didn't have anything in particular that I was looking to kind of remedy in terms of health and wellness. But I have a very good friend who just spoke wonders about CBD, and her story really kind of connected. I resonated with that. She was talking about getting along with her teenage twins and how they could just send her from 0 to 100 in terms of like frustration and like impatience and all of those things. And when she started taking CBD, she found that she had immeasurable patience and calm, and she was able to kind of just compartmentalize whatever she might be feeling right then and there and not turn it into an argument. And I was like, I need that.
Yeah, no kidding.
My children push my buttons, and I'm a middle school teacher.
Oh my goodness, bless you.
So talking about pushing buttons, it's it's their specialty, middle school students. So I decided to give CBD a try, and being I'm very fortunate. I haven't had to take a lot of medicines. I don't have a lot of prescriptions. I haven't had most of my life. And so, I kind of went about thinking, well, it's kind of like, taking Advil when you feel like something's wrong, you take some. And it turns out that CBD actually doesn't work best that way. So I did have some moderate success with finding that I was, keeping my cool and feeling kind of balanced. But what turns out to be the real key with CBD, like most natural remedies, is that it's about consistency and keeping the faith, like getting to a point where you're really kind of being inquisitive about how you're feeling instead of just looking for very kind of superficial signs that it's working. Really be curious and say, well, what is it that normally triggers me? And did I feel different this time? And how did I
Hmm.
react? Um, and so for me, that's really been this discovery process over the last year. And once I really started to feel like my relationships were benefiting, my relationships with my family, my spouse, my students, they were really starting to transform in a way. I was able to listen more carefully. I was able to keep my emotions in control. And so, therefore, leave space for things to develop, which maybe I would have cut short, in terms of conversations or understanding, like, why are you saying that instead of just cutting them off and feeling angry or hurt or frustrated.
Hmm.
So this journey kind of led me to, I feel like our world today can benefit from this. And so
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
really wanted to find a way to share the benefits of CBD with others. And Green Compass has turned out to be the very best option for me because they are based in the US. It turns out a lot of CBD. So maybe I should go back, but to finish saying that, a lot of CBD is actually coming from other countries that might not have as much control over the purity and the quality
Okay.
that Green Compass really prides itself on. So maybe stepping back a little bit and actually talking about what CBD is. Uh,
Yeah.
so CBD is a product of the hemp plant, and it can be extracted from the hemp seeds, but the hemp flower actually offers the very purest and the very most beneficial um, extract. So the hemp plant is often confused with the marijuana plant.
Yeah.
In truth, marijuana and hemp are like cousin plants. So
Okay.
they share a lot of the same DNA and a lot of, the molecules look similar under the microscope. But the truth is that they are just enough difference. And the big difference, the primary difference is in the amount of THC that marijuana plants contain as opposed to hemp plants. So
Okay.
THC is the molecule that actually causes us to feel what we would call a high, right?
Right.
That
Hmm.
euphoria, that kind of not feeling like yourself. And
Hmm.
people who consume marijuana are very accustomed to that and might actually be seeking that feeling. But those of us who consume and use CBD are actually looking for the benefits without those feelings of euphoria or the high.
Yeah.
So CBD allows us to get um, the pain relief,
Hmm.
the emotional stability, the feeling of calm and clarity, eliminating brain fog, and even helping with sleep and and all of those things that often are associated with stress or feelings of anxiousness. And so with CBD, you can benefit from that without having to worry about altering your state at all. So it's
Yeah.
perfect supplement to whatever health regimen you might actually already be using.
Hmm.
CBD can come in a tincture form, which is like an oil that would come in a dropper bottle. Like I happen to have one right here.
Yeah.
So, you would just, this one happens to be empty, but you would just have the oil there in the dropper form. Or it's very popular now to have it in jelly form. And so those, or a gummy, some people call
Okay.
them gummies, we call them jellies.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's actually nice because it's pre-dosed. And so you don't have to worry about, you
Yeah.
know, and it's easy to maybe take a half one or so the CBD you can take it like I take mine in the morning.
Hmm.
Other people will take theirs at night because they're very much looking for the help that it can give them for sleep, right?
Hmm.
And then you can actually add on other, other remedies. So we have Green Compass has topicals. So you could have like a CBD cream that's really great to use on joints, or I use it on my back because I have a
Yeah.
very back. Um, we also, I mean, we have all kinds of, we have skincare with CBD infused in the skincare. So it turns out that CBD can really help in so many ways, and they're discovering more and more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I was going to ask you too, because you said they have topicals. So you use those in the same way that you would use a supplement, in that you have to keep you have to have that consistency for you to see results.
Well, in fact, the truth is for the topicals, you can have immediate results. And
Okay.
that's really nice because we have these receptors so close to the surface in our skin that actually you do get much more immediate relief. It does help if you're using, for example, if you have back pain, for example, or joint pain, arthritis, you're taking CBD as by mouth, and then you're also using the topical. That starts to cause what we call the entourage effect. And that's where you're basically layering the benefits of these different products
Okay.
because each one will kind of target in a different way to help you feel better, whichever kind of relief you're looking for.
Yeah. And I've heard of CBN also. So
Yeah,
what's the difference between CBN and CBD?
that's great. So it turns out that the hemp plant has over 100 cannabinoids. So CBD is one cannabinoid that's harvested from the hemp plant, and CBN is a different cannabinoid. CBN is very much targeting sleep. So those
Okay.
of you that really struggle with sleep problems, whether it's trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, the CBN is a very useful cannabinoid. So you will find products that talk about, especially helping with sleep, and so they often contain the CBN. There are others, right? There's CBG,
Oh,
which is it's particularly useful because it's antibacterial, it's anti-inflammatory. So skincare products will often include CBG, and it can also be an antioxidant. So that's really fascinating.
yeah.
And the truth is, so hemp has only been a legal product, a legal crop to grow in the US since 2018 when they passed the Farm Bill.
Hmm.
But there's a reason that we're actually learning so much now about CBD, that we're hearing and seeing it on the market because they're finally able to grow and harvest and conduct research on the effects of CBD and all of the other cannabinoids that are
Hmm.
present in hemp. So it's not unusual that, you're like, well, 5 years ago, I never heard of it. Well, 5 years ago, they weren't even growing it legally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why it's becoming such a big part of the health and wellness kind of industry right now. And it's
Well, and I hear of all kinds of products made out of hemp. I mean, it seems like it's like this magical plant.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually how we feel about it.
Yeah, I bet.
That it truly is this amazing plant that's a gift to us from nature that we, should give it a try because, it's an alternative to many big pharma solutions. And if you're looking for something kind of natural And so I've had people ask me, I mean, like, how does it even work? What's the whole science behind it? And so I feel silly because I'd never even heard of this, but it turns out that in the late 90s, they actually discovered a new system in our bodies, which actually is present in all mammals, and it's called the endocannabinoid system. So just like we have a immune system and we have a muscular skeletal system, and um,
Hmm.
we also have the system that was recently discovered called the endocannabinoid system. And its entire purpose is to keep our other systems in balance. That's what it does.
Okay.
So we have receptors, endocannabinoid receptors throughout our body. Most of them are actually in our brain, but we have them throughout our body, in our, in our organs, inside, also on our skin. And so as we go through life and we struggle with stress and anxiety and kind of just all the things that life throws at us, those receptors start to kind of fall out of use. They get dull and dead, and they don't do their job anymore. And our body normally produces its own cannabinoids. Our body actually produces cannabinoids to keep the receptors in this endocannabinoid system working properly to keep us in balance. And over time, we have fewer cannabinoids being produced in our bodies. And so CBD will go in and substitute our own natural cannabinoids, and it will bring those receptors back to life so that they're doing their
Hmm.
job and they're detecting when um, one of our systems is out of balance. And
Yeah.
so that's where pain and insomnia and stress and moodiness and all of those things that kind of plague us in this crazy world today,
Yeah.
CBD will go in and it will actually target where you need the help.
Huh.
And yeah, it's
It's
actually
fascinating. Yeah, it's so
really,
fascinating.
so people will find different relief depending on, where their receptors are depleted. If it's in, sleep, if it's in pain, if it's in your joints, it's almost like an ibuprofen. It knows what to do. Like I'll
That's
take an
so wild to me too.
ibuprofen
Yeah. I don't
for a
get it.
headache, and you might take it for a knee ache, and we'll both get relief. Well, CBD
Yeah.
does the same thing. It's nature's like miracle, really.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. It's very fascinating to me. So like the thing that I hear most from my clients is that they have a hard time sleeping. And then I mean, I'm just at this age that I wake up and it's like, okay, what's going to hurt today?
Yeah.
So what would
Yeah.
you recommend for someone that has trouble sleeping, and then the person that really struggles with joint pain?
Yeah, absolutely. So I definitely recommend for sleep, if taking CBD is comfortable for you, if you're willing to give that a try, which it's very mild. There's no kind of
Yeah.
like crazy weird. It's very gentle and mild. So taking a dose of CBD at night will help you relax, will help you, find some calm. And of course, we all know that we're not really supposed to be looking at our phones as we lay in bed.
Yeah.
So, taking away some of that screen time. But the CBD really does enhance that feeling of relaxation and kind of calm that we like at bedtime. Um,
Yeah.
and and there are, options with the CBN actually too. So
Okay.
that would be my suggestion for sleep, honestly, is to just take 25 milligrams as a good dose of CBD. That's kind of
Hmm.
where we say people who aren't suffering from something really specific would start with a 25 milligram dose and then go from there. So you can always increase your dosage, but it's like a discovery process for you and your body. So you might start with 25 milligram, which is one dropper full of CBD. And then if you didn't notice much difference, then maybe try a little bit more. Or even sometimes we recommend that you back off and take a little less, because contrary to what we kind of innately think, more isn't always better with CBD. You can
Okay.
actually find that some people will get more relief with less CBD. So
Hmm.
I actually had that experience myself with sleep, and I went from taking a full jelly, which was the 25 milligrams. I actually cut them in half. And so I'm
Hmm.
only taking about 12 or 13 milligrams. And that's really my sweet spot for me
Hmm.
for sleep.
Hmm.
Other people might need 1.5, So it's and since it's so gentle and it doesn't have counter indications with practically any medicine, it will, of course, you should always consult with your doctor.
Sure. Yeah.
For sure. But we find that people that are taking heart medication or blood pressure medication may need to pay particular attention and definitely consult their physician, only because it could actually, part of what CBD does is chill and relax you. So that
Yeah.
automatically kind of innately brings the blood pressure down. And
Hmm.
depending on what your medications might happen to be, you need to be aware of that.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
and then, so that's what I would say for sleep is
Okay.
CBD at night, possibly CBN as well.
Hmm.
And then for joint pain, I would recommend the CBD again in the morning. And I accompany that with a topical. And you can get it in a cream form or in a roll-on. The roll-on is
Hmm.
kind of nice. And you actually just put it right on the location where you're having pain. So if you're having wrist pain, put it right on the wrist. And that's something that you would reapply throughout the day. So
Okay.
you're going to get a couple of hours of relief with that, and then you would want to reapply. But being a natural solution, right, there's no concern for that. And
Okay.
a lot of
So
people
you
are
can't. Oh, go ahead.
a lot of people are able to actually reduce pain medications that they might be taking post-surgery. Um, chronic pain can be seriously reduced using the creams and the roll-on.
So you can't use too much. Like, when you hear some of
No,
these things, you think of like overdose. I mean, I can't imagine that happening with CBD,
no,
but okay.
no. I wouldn't recommend that you take thousands of milligrams, but um, it won't hurt you. It won't hurt you because there's no, like I said, there's no psychoactive element in the CBD. So you're not gonna feel it might put you to sleep. Like you
Oh,
might be
that
so
sounds
relaxed that
wonderful.
you just like want to take a nap. But there's no danger in ODing on
Yeah.
anything like that. So that's really
Yeah.
important to know.
Oh, absolutely. And I like what you said towards the beginning of the conversation about the mindfulness and just, knowing your body and witnessing what's happening, what's working, and where you're like, oh, wow, last week I would have done this, and this week here I am, and I'm not having that same reaction or thought or yeah. So I really like that, the mindfulness part of it.
I even recommend when people get started with CBD that they consider journaling a little bit about it. Because just like any process of journaling, you can go back and kind of see progress.
Hmm.
So, I've been reminded of things when I've been talking to other people that if I'd been keeping a journal, see, I say you should, but I haven't. But I have a friend, for example, who said that reminded me she gets really weepy, like if there's like an emotional moment, she gets really like teary and weepy. And I'm like, I'm like that too. Even if it's a good thing, like I could be watching my son walk across the graduation platform. It's a happy
Yeah.
moment, but you get all like, I've realized because of her comment, I was like, you know what? I haven't been doing that. I used to cry at a commercial.
Yeah. No, I understand.
And not that I don't mind being an emotional person, but when you want to be in control of your emotions at work or in a situation where you might be trying to state how you feel and suddenly you're overcome with emotion and it somehow weakens your what you're
Yeah.
trying to say. It makes you
Yes.
so that doesn't happen to me anymore. I'm very much in control of my emotions and I never even thought about that. So I'm
Yeah.
constantly discovering ways that CBD is helping me just kind of maintain this even keel that I don't think I realized I'd actually lost.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
yeah, it's amazing, actually. It's so encouraging. And every time I get a chance to connect with someone who's discovered CBD and is using it, they'll share other tidbits. And I'm like, that's so true. And I never
Hmm.
even realized. So there are a lot of ways that you can kind of just keep track and think, wow, I didn't realize it was helping me, but look at this. I haven't done this now for the last week, whereas I used to do it twice a day.
Hmm.
Oh, and speaking of twice a day, hot flashes. Hello. Um I was getting hot flashes like 6 or 7 times a day to the point where I'm sweating, like dripping sweat.
Oh,
My
wow.
students would be really like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry. Just keep doing your worksheets." It was embarrassing,
Yeah.
honestly. And I've I might have one hot flash a week now.
That's
It's
great.
incredible. It's incredible. It has provided the relief that I needed, and I'm not taking any more hormones. Like I was taking hormones for that, and it was not something that I felt was sustainable for me. I wasn't comfortable with that. I'm I'm so chill now. I have no hot
Yeah.
flashes. I'm a happy camper.
Oh, that's wonderful. And like you said, it benefits every relationship in your life.
Yeah, it really does. Relationship with myself,
Hmm.
with my family, with my students, with my superiors at work, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's got a lot of benefits. And honestly, I haven't seen any drawbacks, none. So I'm thrilled.
Very cool. Very cool. And I'm assuming that you ship all over the United States.
Yeah, so Green Compass, as I mentioned, we're based in North Carolina. It's one of the only USDA certified organic producers of CBD. So we grow, so it's USDA certified from seed to bottle, and we do ship all over the US. It's um, yeah, I mean, the company was founded by a woman who was looking for a great alternative for her children. So we have some amazing testimonials about kids and CBD. So it's safe
Hmm.
for everybody. A breastfeeding mother can take it. Children can take CBD. It's got incredible results for students at school who are having trouble focusing or suffering from anxiety. We know that there are a lot of mental issues happening now in our schools. I witness it all the time, and I
Hmm.
see so many people that would benefit from CBD. The
Yeah.
students and teachers too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Everyone.
everyone. So our products are available. We have Green Compass is online, and the products ship really quickly. And we also have a preferred customer program. So when you order for the first time from Green Compass, you can get $10 off your first order, which is a great way to try things out.
Yeah.
And as a preferred customer, you get 20% off all of your purchases, and there's no membership fee or anything like that. So it's a great way to kind of add CBD to your health and wellness regimen and keep that consistency, right? So you can keep it
Yeah.
coming so that you're not losing all the benefits. There's nothing like having to restart again.
Oh, yeah. I hear you.
So
And
that's
I also like that. I mean, I know that you and I both enjoy wine,
mhm,
but what I like, what I'm hearing is that like instead of that glass of wine that you're needing to unwind at night, it can be something that's just, I mean, not that wine's not natural, you know what I mean? It's just, this is
right.
a product that you're not going to have all the calories with it. You're not going to have that hangover. So that's, yeah, I really like that. Have you cut wine out completely or are you still a wine lover?
I do love my wine,
Okay.
but I find that I crave it less, as
Okay.
well as I crave, you know, chocolate and junk food less. I have a feeling um, of fullness. Like I wake up in the morning and I used to go straight for my breakfast, and now I don't even want any food until about 11 o'clock. So there's just this kind of overall feeling of I don't need all the extra calories. I'm
Yeah.
just working with what I need, and that's great. I literally crave water more than I crave wine. So there's that.
Wow.
And that's
Okay.
not normal for me.
That is wonderful. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that's
yeah.
great. Well, and I'll have to tell you too, because like you're a special person to be a middle school teacher. I wow. But
Sometimes I don't feel very special, but thank
well,
you.
I can tell you that my most influential teachers in my life were seventh and eighth grade. I still think of them. I still think, hear them, different things that they taught us. It's a tough age, but it's a time where they're so influential that to have someone like you in their life, that's a blessing.
Wow, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Well, tell us how everyone can find you and find your
awesome.
site and yeah, if they
Yeah.
have questions for you.
Absolutely. So there is if you're on Facebook, you can find my group. It's hemp-based wellness with Rebecca. So you can find me there. And then I also I'm not very prepared right now. So if you go
That's
to
okay. I'll put it all in the show notes so you can send it to
okay,
me.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the best way to kind of get an overview, and also you can submit some information for like a personal consultation. You would go to RebeccaStevenson.card, CARRD.co. And
Okay.
that's where you can find me and information on Green Compass, and also get in touch with me for a consultation. It can be a little intimidating sometimes, CBD, without somebody to guide you through the products and through the different options and dosing. So don't be nervous about it. Just find someone like me to give you answers, and don't be shy about trying it. It really has a lot to offer.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, I can't wait to go to your site and read more about it. But you're so knowledgeable, like you answered so many questions. So thank you for being here.
There's more to tell, but
Oh yeah.
we can follow up another time, and you can reach out, and we can talk all things hemp.
Okay, I would like that. All right. Well, thank you so much, Rebecca.
Absolutely. Thank you, Robin.
Yes. That was all so very interesting, and a big thank you to Rebecca for sharing her time and knowledge with all of us. I think the biggest takeaway is that an answer to so many ailments might be as simple as CBD products. Consulting with an expert like Rebecca could prove beneficial and may eliminate those aches and pains, anxiety, or just help get you focused. Her info is in the show notes, and please reach out to her with questions. She's a wonderful person and is truly happy to help you feel and move better. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying this podcast, be sure to follow Spandex and Wine so you don't miss an episode. To do this, just go to the podcast and click subscribe or follow wherever you are listening. Look for the plus sign or follow button. This is one of the best things that you can do for the podcast. If you'd also be willing to give a 5-star review, that would be amazing and much appreciated. Lastly, please share an episode with a friend or 5 to keep the love going, and join the Spandex and Wine community in our private Facebook group by searching Spandex and Wine. Feel free to reach out to me at any time by emailing info@spandexandwine.com or text me at 913-392-2877. I appreciate you. Thank you.